The restrooms, the concession prices, the lines getting into the theater. Here's what you need to know before you go. Hello friends, my name is Katharine Quinn. I'm a 30-something living in New York City and working on Broadway. Last year I worked on Shucked and How to Dance in Ohio. This year I am on The Great Gatsby and The Roommate on Broadway, other shows TBD. As always, the YouTube fam is the first to find out, so make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Today, we are talking about classic mistakes, new mistakes, unthought of mistakes that you want to avoid when you're visiting a Broadway theater. So whether you are a first-time theater goer or a seasoned professional at seeing Broadway shows, this will ensure you avoid the blunders that will keep you from living your best Broadway going life. Rule number 1, don't sleep on ticket deals. I have an entire video on this right over here, but the quick and dirty is you can get a discounted seat to almost any show on Broadway. We're saying almost. And you have to know how to play the game right. A few quick rules. I was on Reddit just yesterday, trolling. We don't post on Reddit. I've said this before, I will say it again. I do lurk on the Broadway World and Reddit message boards. I do not post on them. I will never post on them. I don't have a pseudonym. It's not going to happen. Not that y'all care that much. But anyway, I was lurking on the boards yesterday and somebody said I bought all of my show tickets through insert website here that is not officially the show website. Was that stupid? And the answer is no, it's not stupid. It's very logical. However, you're gonna pay some extra fees when you buy that way. The best way to avoid fees on Broadway is by buying directly from the box office. Unfortunately, when you buy from the box office online, you're still having to deal with fees. But if you're buying from Telecharge, if you're buying from Broadway Direct, if you're buying from the actual show website, where it says buy ticket, the first place it directs you will be the official box office for the show. You will still have online fees. Other places that you buy tickets are gonna have online fees plus a fee for that individual site because they gotta make money. So if you wanna avoid those fees, you can buy directly from the show. If you really wanna avoid fees, you don't have any of the processing fees, you buy directly in person from the box office. How do I know if my show is full? Every single week, the Broadway grosses are listed. They show, if you search broadwayworld.com/grosses, you can scroll through and see what the capacity is for every single Broadway show. There's also an amazing thing called the Broadway Rush Report. People will self-report often on Reddit. Also, there are creators online like Dylan TPE and Brian the BA who will sometimes walk you through how many people are in the rush line at what time. And it'll give you a sense of how full these shows are. Most shows still have tickets day of. Most. Again, if you're looking at a show that has a 98% capacity, it's a little dodgy. You might want to buy that ticket in advance. Okay, some places that you can buy tickets in advance more cheaply. You can become a member of TDF, the Theater Development Fund, tdf.org. I go into more detail over here. You can also buy from, occasionally Today Tix has some really good deals. Occasionally the Theater app has some really good deals. I'll leave links to both of those down in the description. But in any case, make sure you're not missing out on some good deals for tickets. For what it's worth, the average Broadway ticket price is about $160, and I aim to spend less than $100 consistently, even if it's a show that I really want to see. Do I always get to do that? No, but that's the goal. Timing is everything. Okay, it's so interesting. I would love to know in the comments, if you are a Broadway seasoned professional, what time do you like to arrive at theater? Like how far in advance? In case you aren't aware, Broadway shows open their doors 30 minutes before showtime. If you get there right at half hour, you will wait in an incredibly long line outside. Typically, Broadway shows hold for 5 to 7, 8 minutes after curtain time. So if you're seeing an 8 o'clock show, most of the time, that overture is gonna start at 8:08-ish. So you do not need to get there 30 minutes beforehand. 30 minutes beforehand, it's not for schmucks. It's just for people who don't know that it's gonna be easier to get in if you wait until like 15 minutes beforehand, 10 minutes beforehand. I don't recommend getting there 30 minutes beforehand. It is not my preference. 10 minutes beforehand is plenty of time, assuming you already have your tickets, right? One more word about tickets. Rush is something I'm sure that we all know about, but just in case you are new to the Broadway experience, Rush is cheap, same-day tickets, often when the box office opens, which is typically at 10 a.m. that day. And again, you can look at the Rush report that I referenced earlier. Another thing that we should talk about retiming is bathroom breaks. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've said this before, I will say it again. You need to be prepared. If you think you might want to use the bathroom at intermission. I am a very anxious individual, so I will literally look in the playbill, see what the last number in Act 1 is. Make sure that if I'm hearing that music, I'm like, oh, it's about time to use the restroom. It takes you out of the moment, but it's very, very important. And then you make a nice hearty power walk to the restroom that you hopefully scoped out where the sign for the restroom was when you entered the theater. It's very important because the people at the end of the restroom line are often still trickling in the middle of the first number of the second act. They've missed the top of Act 2, or you just have to hold it through the rest of the act. I just can't recommend highly enough. Really planning for that. Dress code. Okay, dress code for a Broadway show. Don't wear pajamas. Almost anything else goes. You can dress up, you can do smart casual. If you want to wear a gorgeous, beautiful gown, you can. You don't need to. Great Gatsby is one of the shows I'm working on. People love dressing up. The theater is gorgeous. You can get beautiful photos. So you will not be weird if you're dressing up, but you also won't be weird if you're dressing like smart casual. So you can wear what makes you feel comfortable. Please, no hats. Be kind to the people sitting behind you. Number 4, snacks. Snacks are important. It's worth noting that concessions at Broadway theaters are exorbitantly expensive and there are very minimal offerings. My favorite go-to is a ginger ale and peanut M&Ms, but that's still gonna run me literally $30. So don't tell my bosses. She packs her own snacks. She packs her own snacks or she has a proper meal before the show. Highly recommend. Okay, number 5. This is so important. Friends, turn your phone off. Don't wait until the lights are going down. Put that sucker on airplane mode. Make sure that if you're looking at your watch and you're getting ready to put it into Do Not Disturb, how many times have I been in the theater and I want to do Do Not Disturb but accidentally do? You don't want to be doing that when the house is going down. Don't do that when the house lights are going down. If you want to make that embarrassing noise, you want everyone to be talking around you. You don't want it to be quiet or the music has just started playing. So do all your futzing. If you notice it's 8:05, you're like, okay, curtain's about to go. Yay, beep booping. I'm gonna talk to my neighbor and not look at my phone for maybe 2-3 minutes. It's gonna be okay. But I'm also going to avoid being so embarrassed if my phone goes off in the middle of the show. Don't do it. Also, the actors can see you. As someone who actively works on Broadway shows, I hear about it all the time. Not only can they see the shiny in front of you, they can see the reflection in the face, they can see when you are texting, they can see if you're getting a slime tutorial. They know. Don't be rude. Put your phone away. Number 6, merch madness. Okay, so some shows have amazing merch, other shows have not amazing merch, but check it out. It's totally worth checking out. It's a nice way to remember the experience. I don't think you really need to pay attention to comparing prices online versus at the theater. In general, if you buy in person, you're gonna avoid fees, so I would recommend buying at the show. Merch lines are not as crazy as bathroom lines. If you're playing the priority game, go to the bathroom first, maybe then grab a snack, then get your merch, if you can do all those. Or get your merch before the show, use the bathroom at intermission, and then get your snack. Or pack your snacks. Best case scenario, pack your snack, go to the bathroom first thing at intermission, get your merch right after the show. We did it. Audience behavior. I'm making a whole video on this. It may have already come out, and if it has, I'm gonna link it right up here. Audience behavior has been an issue in Broadway theaters, and it's a tricky thing because everyone deserves to enjoy their time on Broadway. That's a Wicked reference, in case you're not a nerd. Ooh, who's excited for the movie? Everyone deserves to enjoy the experience. However, you are not watching Netflix at home. Please be mindful of your neighbors. Please don't sing along. I want everyone to have a great time. If you are enjoying something to the point where you think the people around you might have a shittier experience, please refrain. Please refrain. I love that you know all the lyrics. I love it. I love it. Mouthing the lyrics, maybe if you have to, you can. Otherwise, please don't. Number 9. Okay, so don't ignore Off Broadway. Off Broadway also has incredible theater to see, oftentimes shows that are coming to Broadway or coming to tour in a town near you, but you can be the one to see it first. Some of my favorite theater in the last few years has been Off Broadway. I highly recommend. Let's see, how do I recommend you learn about what's off Broadway? Time Out is always a great resource for all things New York, like what's going on at any given time. But honestly, you could probably do a cute little Google search for currently running off-Broadway shows. You know what? Also, Show Score is an amazing resource, and I think Off Broadway is on there as well. So you could categorize by that, then you can search. It's like a Rotten Tomatoes for Broadway shows, and it'll give you a sense of how audiences are feeling about the show, so maybe you could consult with that. But I love seeing Off Broadway. A much more intimate experience. Sometimes it's not as commercial, sometimes it feels a little more artistic. I really enjoy it, and I highly recommend. Number 10, my marketing heart, I gotta tell you. Don't forget to spread the word. I know, it's so important though.
Hello, my name is Elder Price, and I would like to share with you the most amazing show.
In case you aren't aware, we have 17% fewer audiences on Broadway than we did pre-pandemic. And even pre-pandemic, most Broadway shows were not making their money back. So it is a tough time for the arts. I love Broadway so much. Presumably, if you're watching this video, you do too. Spreading the word is one of the most valuable things that you can do. If you loved a show, talk about it. You know what? If you don't love a show, you can talk about that too. I put out a video that's the full fall Broadway preview of all the shows that are coming this fall, and then some of the shows looking ahead to the spring. You can watch it right up here. I saw the out-of-town production of Swept Away, which is a new musical this fall, and it was not for me. But I said, if you like Dark and Moody, John Gallagher Jr., Avett Brothers, A Gorgeous Set, it might be for you. And it sold a ticket. Somebody commented and they said, you have just sold me on Swept Away. So I think that there is merit to sharing your experience regardless of whether you loved or hated it, as long as you acknowledge who that show might be for or why you did not like it so that it can indicate to people, oh, okay, well, maybe that is exactly what I'm looking for. There you have it, folks. If you avoid these crucial mistakes, you will have a wonderful time at your Broadway show. If you're a Broadway pro and you think I missed something, make sure you leave a comment down below. If you have any questions about the Broadway experience, I do my best to answer every single question in the comments, so feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for being here. Again, if you want my guide to cheap Broadway tickets, you can click that right up here. As always, I invite you to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Katharine Quinn. If you enjoyed this video, liking, commenting, or subscribing is the surest way to let the YouTube algorithm know what wonderful people to push this video out to. People just like you. It really makes a difference to me as a new YouTube creator. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the comment section. Bye.